Welcome back, everyone. Today I want to show you a 2-block strip of a town in Maine. And we're going to talk about some of the buildings that occupy this 2 blocks and tie it into everything going on today. I just got to be careful with my language. So, the first picture I took was at the Walgreens, right in the middle of your screen, right? Let me pull it up again. The Walgreens sign says, "Walk in, you know what, shots here." Big surprise, right? But below it, you can see that the sign is built into a little flower pot. And the flower pot says IOOF 1903. This is a reference to the International Order of Oddfellows, which you can look up on Wikipedia if you want. And it's another form of Freemasonry. And if you don't believe that, here's the plaque right next to it that says Historic Site. The granite block was taken from the Oddfellow building, which was occupied by the Good Cheer Lodge, and then the Mount Kineo Free Masonic Lodge, right? So the two groups are one and the same, as you can see. Now let's pause for a second and think, in order for Walgreens to set up a sign, they would need permission from not only the Freemasons, but also from the local and state governments, because this is a registered historical site. So keep that in mind. Right across the street is the sheriff's office. As you can see right here, they just they were gonna host a open meeting, but they canceled it because of you know what, that surge going on, right? And from my past videos, you guys might remember that all police stations are tied into the Fraternal Order of Police, which is another Masonic organization. This organization functions as the bridge between local police departments and the federal government. It lobbies for them, etc. You can also find this on Wikipedia. And right next to that is the United States Post Office. And the post office is modeled very much after Freemasonry. You don't work at a position there, you work a craft. You don't have a boss, you have a postmaster. You don't have an internal affairs or internal investigation department. You have postal inspectors, and these are all terms that are shared with Freemasonry. The post office also functions as the on-the-ground arm of the intelligence community. And they were doing this, they still are doing this through what's called the Internet Covert Operations Program, or ICOP. And on the right side of your screen, you can see a bill, HR 291, or 2921. And I don't think anything came of this, but it was calling for the federal government not to pay the money for this program to exist. And this program is spying on all of us, so you can look that up yourself. That's where the intelligence communities get their raw data. Every letter is photographed, barcoded, and it's all recorded. Right next to the post office is a company called Duvaltex, and they are involved with making the testing sticks, the ancient Egyptian ritual where they stick the stick up your nose. Yeah, Duvaltex makes those. And the T-Man actually visited.
And I'd like to advertise Donald Trump. I feel he's a very good president.
Republican Paul Davis has represented Guilford and all of Piscataquis County in the state Senate for 20 years. He says his constituents like Trump's policies.
Conservative Republican policies. Pro-life, pro-gun, that type of thing.
And also, you can see in the video here, there's a company called Puritan, and they're working with them as well to provide the wood for these testing sticks, right? Puritan's logo is a Egyptian hieroglyph for the sun, which is something we see all the time. And the company's name, Puritan, is also another interesting clue because through my research, I've sort of come to the conclusion that the Puritans are the first settlers of New England. Were not Christians escaping persecution. They were Masons, occultists, Rosicrucians, witches, and the like who were escaping persecution because they were being kicked out of Europe for what they believe in. And of course, after Duvaltex, we have the Mount Kineo Lodge of Freemasonry. So you can see how the one connection between all of this is Freemasonry. And these are the organizations that support and control our towns, right? So we have Walgreens clearly getting permission from Freemasons and the state government to build a sign here so that they can write you know what on it. You can see on your screen. We have the police station, which is undeniably tied into Freemasonry, right? We have the post office, which is tied into Freemasonry and also responsible for spying on us. Check out HR 2921. Then we have a public company, Duvaltex, which is actually building the sticks that are being used to puncture people's brains and put God knows what into their brains, right? And it's a company that the big T-man visited. And of course, icing on the cake is the Masonic Lodge. Right after the Masonic Lodge is also a medical center. So you can see how this is starting to look suspicious, right? We're going to use inductive reasoning, and we're going to take all these little pieces and reason our way up and hopefully find out what the truth is. Now, the T-man actually came to this town. He drove down this street where I'm showing you all this. Why did he come here? He came here because the federal government gave these companies tons of money to make these sticks. The sticks that they're shoving up people's noses, right, for the genocide. And back when that happened, I thought Trump was the real deal. I could not fathom how all of them could be liars and how they could orchestrate all of this. But now that you see the connection between all of it, police, post office, medicine, distribution of medicine, etc., and production of it, they're all connected by one thing. And that one thing is Freemasonry. And there is a Mason Lodge that covers every town of this country. So for them to organize the presidential trip and do all that stuff, all it would take is a phone call from one lodge to another. And you might say, how could they keep this a secret? How could they keep it from everybody? That's why Masonry is compartmentalized. That's why there are degrees. It's only known to a small group of people what the actual plan is. So I hope you can agree with me that it's pretty sketchy. Freemason sign with COVID, Mason-controlled police, Mason-controlled post office, Mason-influenced company, and of course, the lodge. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.